Hello everyone, it is Chris again here with another episode of Magic the Gathering. We are playing some Brawl today. We are playing Grum Brawl. I do like a good green-red deck every now and then. Shatterskull smashing. We'll make up our first land drop for the turn. Not for the game, not the turn. I don't know what I was thinking. Either way, it comes down. Forest is next. Reminding myself by showing it off to everybody and at the same time covering up half of our opponent's side of the board. I don't really want to focus on that anyways. We're playing Yorvo. Yorvo's a decent commander. Big green. Counters. Don't rightly know what direction they're going to take it in this game, but we do have some inkling as to what they're going to do. It's going to be big. Might be counters, but there will be big. They play a Llanowar Visionary on 3. Draw a card as it enters the battlefield. Our opponent is thinking over their options. They have 4 mana available to them. As to what they will decide to do with that mana, I have no clue. But it is their choice, so we will see. They seem to be sporting the Eldraine. Ooh, is the dog from Eldraine? I don't recall. I don't think it is actually. I think the fox is Eldraine. But I don't remember what set the dog is from. It's not Ikoria. It's not Zendikar. Don't know. So we are actually going to trade off with Vorinclex here. Vorinclex is a bad card for us. Yeah, our commander kind of wants to put counters on things, and he only does one of it, which means with a Vorinclex in the battlefield, he does less than one of it, which is not good. Thanks to Fire's Invention, we can actually cast 2 spells a turn. And all of our tokens enter with an additional +1/+1 counter. So they are 1/2s instead of 0/1s. 1/2s are much better at blocking than 0/1s. A Nyx Bloom Ancient comes down. We don't really have a way to answer it, which is really bad for us. We'll see what our opponent does here. We're both kind of running low on fumes here. They have 3 cards at their disposal. We have 2. We do know, however, that one of our 2 cards will help us draw cards, so we're not completely out of the race yet. So we play an Elder Gargaroth. It was our draw for the turn. And we play Valakut Expedition, I think it is. That'll let us draw some cards in the future. The Gargaroth can block a lot of what our opponent's trying to do. Yorvo is growing and growing. Yeah, it's unfortunate I didn't have a way to answer the Nyx Bloom Ancient. That means they're going to have a lot to do with their cards. Although they have ran out of cards, so this is what they have. So it's going to be a matter of whether or not it's enough to kill us or not. Right now they can only really attack in with Yorvo and the Nyx Bloom Ancient. They sacrifice their Thrashy in order to get rid of our Fire's Invention. Not really a problem for us anymore because we can pretty much cast what we want. We drew a Storm's Wrath, which on a different board would have been a decent card for us, but sadly it is not so in this matchup. A Gigantosaurus Rex comes down. 5 mana 10/10, always good to see. generally doesn't do too much for you, but it can attack in and kill you if you let it. And we tend to run pretty gritty decks here, so having removal is just not something we do. So we jump block with a 1-2. And we kill the Beanstalk Giant with our Gargaroth. This will draw us a card. Might get us to an out. Basically, we know our opponent is out of action, so for them it's just top decking. We actually top decked a pretty good card. Take a minute here to see how much mana I have. I have 5 extra mana at my disposal, so that would only be one target. It's not really worth it at the moment. I don't remember what it's called exactly. What is that? Crackle with Power. It does 5 damage to 5 times X damage to X targets. You got 2 is your X. You deal 10 damage to 2 targets. You got 3 of your X. You do 15 damage to 3 targets, and so on and so forth. It really just depends on the number of targets you have and the amount of mana that you can actually put into it. Part of the reason why our deck also runs a Nyxbloom Ancient is because I kind of wanted to see how far I could take a Crackle with Power. So I'm really glad we actually drew it. We double chump block here. Luckily for us, Trample does not appear to be on the table for them. We can actually play our own Yorvo here, which is pretty cool for us. He's significantly shorter than our opponent's Yorvo, but having another 5/5 blocker means we can take down another one of their big creatures quicker, or more efficiently, I guess would be a better way of putting it. Basically, we want to trade out as best we can here. Our only avenue to victory would be to get decent trades going. So we jump one, trade for the other. Our board is slowly being whittled away, but we actually did draw the land we needed, so we can deal 10 to 2 targets. Unfortunately, Yorvo is a little bit out of our range at the moment, but we can take out the Nyxbloom Ancient and the Llanowar. And this means that they don't really have as many profitable blocks as they had before. I mean, profitable attacks. Yeah, here we can actually just chump with our commander. We can just recast it next turn. Grum has pretty much done what he needs to do in this board. He was on call when our Phylath entered the battlefield to pump our tokens, but other than that, he's not really needed. So we actually have a 19 power with our Phylath on the board. Ooh. Garruk the Huntsman actually no, it's Garruk Unleashed. It's actually a pretty bad card to see here, because it brings that up to an 18, and it gives it trample, which means we have to put a lot in front of it not to die. 3-0 Phylath in the plant in the bin. We actually end up drawing here a pretty decent creature. So we attack in with 2 here. These will kill Garruk, so we don't have to worry about trample damage hurting us too badly. We got rid of Garruk, and unfortunately for us, we have to go shield down for a turn. But that also means we can get down. Oh, God. Ooh, they just kicked that, didn't they? That means we're losing a lot of life this turn. Yeah. Go from 25 to 1. 24 damage in a single turn. That's really impressive for our opponent. So our Phylos gains 3 life. We get down an Ox of Agonis. Draw 3 cards. Play a Great Henge, which turns on our god. Gain an extra 2 life, and pass the turn. That means we should live. Opponent can attack in here. We'll have to block, that'll turn off our god. And then we'll be back to squaring up for blockers, but we actually had a pretty decent turn last turn. The Great Hinge down, surviving this turn means we have a pretty good shot at winning the late game. So we gain another 2 life. We play an Ashaya. That turns our god back on. We play our land to get our backup commander, the Demigod, which actually triggers our Valak Awakening again. We get a Goldspan Dragon. Pretty decent creature. We decide to attack in with our Goldspan Dragon here, because our Goldspan Dragon will make a treasure that can tap for 2, which should let us get another creature on the board. Which other creature we're going to get, though? Probably Ox of Agonis. Double red. Discard our hand, draw 3 more. Really good card in Dredge style decks. Not that our deck is actually Dredge style, but so our opponent's down to 8. We have an additional blocker to survive. They drew a land for the turn. I think this is it. Yep, they give up. Well, thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next episode of Brawl.